Reason for the change I had second thoughts. I thought about it again as I was coming back from my trip, and I just think that taking in all of the public's comments and all from the constituency and things, yeah, the, the change doesn't really hurt us. I mean, we're really going to be able to do the kinds of branding that we're so going to be able to do. Rainbow Warriors, Rainbow Wahine still represents who we are. And I mean, it just goes back to those two questions I always asked when I first got here: who are we, and what do we represent? And I simply think that right now, it is the best thing for our program. And so I consulted with Tom yesterday and consulted with our leadership team here in the department, and we decided to make that change.
Was this a decision that you came to on your own accord?
Yeah, I think pretty much so. And and when I had my regular meeting with Tom yesterday, I certainly talked to him about it, and he agreed with me. I just think for the best course of the program, it was the right decision.
What has been the reaction thus far to this version of the decision from coaches or whatever?
I certainly one of the first I talked to was Norm, and I talked to Coach Shell about it, and just make sure that he was okay and on board and things. And I know certainly football has the largest fan following, and I just want to make sure that we were on the same page.
And he was okay with it.
Yeah, and he was okay with it. He was one of the first people I talked to about it, and then I had my meeting with Tom yesterday.
You know, you had mentioned earlier that this can be perceived as a fairly trivial aspect of the overall athletic program's operation, but at the same time, you could see the passionate reaction of a certain amount of the fans. Were you surprised by that?
I have to admit to you, I was a little bit surprised by it, but again, it doesn't deter from what I thought was what we need to do. We had to finally get down to two nicknames, one for the men's team, one for the women's team. There was just too much history to get it down to one, and I just felt that we needed to boil it down from 6 nicknames down to 2, and again, it goes back to our branding effort. We're still going to go ahead with what we're doing, marching forward. I think the fans are going to really enjoy what we have planned. It's what we've been planning all along, and I think that once they see that, they'll understand.
Ben, you're a big believer in leadership.
Yes.
You read a lot about it. It's difficult to dig in and dig a trench. Some may think it's even more difficult to reverse course.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say about your leadership style that you were able to reverse course and make a change like that?
Chris, as I always said when I first got here, is that I take a lot of time. I take a lot of time to evaluate, deliberate, and talk to people, and when it comes to this, and one thing was for sure, there was never any consensus from all of the different groups as to which way was the right way. There's no real right or wrong answer here like that. And so I think, though, after hearing much more, especially the passion that came out, I said, you know what, we can do this. And that's the thing about being a leader, is to be able to listen to your constituency and to be able to respond appropriately.
Does it feel good? Does it feel better? Is there any feeling you get from making this decision at all, or is it right now just straight decision making and we're done?
To me, it's straight decision making. It doesn't deter us from what we had already planned to do, and I think we're marching forward with that. And now let's just right now get us onto our business of what we need to do. We got a strategic vision plan coming. We got a budget that is going to work, and we have facility projects that we need to work on, and we'll be able to march ahead with this. And this is what this department needs over the next couple of years to get healthy. We got to get ourselves in position, and I think certainly get back on a winning track.
You mentioned conferring with Tom Apple, and he made some headlines recently talking about the dire state of athletics overall from a budget standpoint and the threat of possibly dropping to Division II. He sort of backed off of that a little bit after in the days to follow. But how together are you guys in terms of the approach here to this?
We are absolutely together on this. I mean, what Tom's message really was all about was the fact that we are going to need financial support from all over. This just can't come from the legislature, which has been very, very supportive. It can't come from just the university. It has to come from everybody who calls himself a UH supporter. a UH fan like that. And whether it's buying tickets or buying our merchandise or whether it's, giving us whatever amount that they can afford to give, that's what we need here. And it's got to come from businesses, it's got to come from the associations, it's got to come from our fans. I mean, if you want UH athletics to be successful, if you want UH football to be successful, then you have to help us. And that's what he's saying.
Do you feel like this decision today is a way to almost open the door to bridge some of the generation gaps, to kind of be a little bit more inclusive when it comes to the fan base itself?
Oh, I definitely think so. I think, as I said way back when, even when we had made the previous decision, was that fans, no matter what era you come from, you are going to call us whatever you remember us by. Whether you're a Rainbow, whether you're a Warrior, or whatever like that. And so I don't think that's going to change. Obviously, right now, I've made a group of people happy, but still, it doesn't deter us from what we need to do.
Has there ever been any brand consultation tied to the name and not necessarily the logo and the appearance, the color scheme, etc.?
No, I think as we work on all this, I mean, all that gets tied together, and I think as we put forward what our ideas, our packages are together, it will all play together.
Is there any added cost by having the football team switch, rather as opposed to the other teams, or is it negligible?
As you can remember, though, we had 4 teams that were Warriors, 2 teams that were Rainbow Warriors, 1 team that was Rainbows. Okay. And when I made my initial decision, I went with the fact that we had 4 teams that were Warriors, and we were switching 3. I didn't change the name. All I was doing was we were just going with one name.
Throughout the process, was there any consideration to change the logo to add the rainbow colors to the H?
No, never. We have a strong brand with our H, and I don't want to mess with that. I mean, that thing sells well for us. I mean, it represents us all over the islands and across the nation, and hopefully now into Asia. And so, that's what we need to continue to build upon.
Thank you.
Oh, one more question. I'm just regarding the town hall meeting on Thursday.
Yes.
What you're hoping to accomplish with that, or what you anticipate you're going into
Similar to what the other appearances I've made, it's just talking the story about basically what our vision plan is, and about what we need to do to get better and get healthy, and to obviously correcting mistakes of the past, but also marching forward as to where we need to be.
As was the case sort of with this process, how valuable is it to get that immediate feedback from whoever will show up?
I think it's always great to get that feedback, but one of the things that I really grasp and that I really love about those is the passion of the fans. And so my message isn't that please, be passionate about us like that. At least I know you care. And that please show up, buy our tickets, come to our games, watch us, and support us.
Thank you.
How much of the name? I mean, with the lawmakers who helped put that together. I mean, how much is this issue? The town hall.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
okay.
the lawmakers who helped
Yeah.
organize the town hall. How much of the naming issue was sort of a part of that? Was part of the reason for organizing it? I mean, and do you expect that to kind of change at all?
The town hall thing has just been a number of appearances I've been making all over the islands in regards to telling our story, and I've been taking every advantage I can to make appearances all over to basically explain to them what direction this program is headed.
So this isn't really the top issue that comes
No,
up there.
it isn't. No. This is a way to talk story to all of our fans about what we're anticipating, what we need to do.
Well, Robert, it's a decision made far above my level, right? And we're obviously very supportive of it. And our job is to put a good product on the football field. That's what we need to worry about. I'm glad the decisions have been made. We're certainly supportive of the Ben and the administration, and we'll just go from there.
Back in February, it was that all men's programs would be Warriors. What was the reaction of the kids on your team?
Not much. Again, our job is completely different from all of this. I don't think it'll hurt anything. Recruiting certainly won't bother We won't be bothered by it. Our job, like I said, we need to put a good product on the field. That's what we're all about.
Is that something that you as a head coach think about much? I mean, the nickname stuff, I can't imagine it comes into play all too much.
Not too much. Try to figure out how to make a first down. How's that?
Are you surprised at the amount of passion and backlash that was given from the Rainbow support people?
I think it's a good thing. It shows that people care, and that's why our job is so important. People do care about the University of Hawaii and the athletic program, and we need to do our part to earn the support from these people.
Coach, Rainbow obviously harkens back to the past, something that you can relate to growing up here. Personally, I mean, you said you don't care. It's not going to affect the job. You wear Hawaii on the front of your shirt, but there is a strong segment that's going to
Sure
really
they are.
enjoy
Sure
to
they are.
see that
Sure,
Rainbow.
without question they are. You know, I had a brother that played as a Rainbow, and you know the throwback thing, the fact that we're gonna get a throwback game, and you know it's important to a lot of people, and that's fun. That's the good thing. That's the best thing about all this.
Now, obviously, a lot of people spend a lot of time talking about it, and I think that just speaks to how passionate people are about Hawaii athletics. So, like I say, a lot of people smarter than me talked a lot about it, and they decided that Rainbow Warriors best represents all of Hawaii athletics. So we're supporting it and looking forward to it.
How much of a respect for the history do you think this evokes? Just the idea of being sort of all-inclusive when it comes to the nicknames Rainbow Warriors and Rainbow White.
Well, I think that's definitely part of the decision, and I've been working here since '95 and seen a lot of changes throughout. And again, I think it just speaks to how passionate people are about Hawaii athletics and the brand and the loyalty to the university. So, I think it's a good thing.
Back in February when Rainbow was left off the name, are you surprised at the amount of pushback was given because of the passion of those people?
Well, I mean, we didn't hear much about it, and in terms of what we do on a daily basis, I can't even remember one conversation that either my staff or our team really had about it, Our stuff all says Hawaii volleyball, so, that's what we do.
Does this affect the team yell in the huddle or anything like that? Or
No.
Over 13 years ago when the big unveiling of the age and the Rainbow was pretty much dropped from most of the men's sports, I remember you speaking about it. Have things changed since then as far as your thoughts on
Well, I
what you were
think,
talking about then?
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us have changed in 13 years, and just look at, obviously the Rainbow is important to a lot of people, and they spoke out about that, and, the powers that be decided that represents the brand and Hawaii athletics better, and I'm all for it.
I've said all along that the important thing is that we're all the same, and the important thing is that it's not going to change anything that we do on a daily basis to try to get better, to try to represent this university and this state the right way, and the fact that hopefully we'll end this dialogue that's gone on for as long as I've been here, 12 years, and settle on something that I think makes everybody happy. I think it's a great decision. I think it makes sense, and now we can move on.
Were you surprised at all at the pushback, the backlash of getting rid of the Rainbow?
No, not really, because I've been hearing it for 12 years, and it's passion, and that's the one thing that our fans bring every day is passion, and that's a good thing at the end of the day. You can be passionate about a lot of things, but nothing trumps the sports landscape when it comes to the passion of the Hawaii people.
Speaking of that passion, Coach, I mean, even in a rough year, you just told us.
Who's having a rough
12
year?
Not accustomed to what you're used
okay,
to.
yeah.
But 12th in the nation in attendance. Obviously, there's passion there among the fan base. This seems to be a compromise that would satisfy your passionate fans. Would you agree?
Well, I don't know what compromise means. I'll have to look that up. No, I think that it shows, again, the passion, but it also shows, I think that our kids go out there every day and they play hard, and regardless of a perfect storm of adversity that's come on them this season, it's really impressive that our fans have come out to support these guys because they don't lay down. Every single day they're working hard to improve, and I think that's really special that we can say that we're 12th in the nation with 3 games still to go in attendance. That shows that that we've got the best fans in college baseball like we've thought for a long time, and it shows that we've got kids that go out there and play hard every day.
Regardless of Rainbows or Rainbow Warriors.
Regardless of what you call us, that's right.
Beautiful.
You said you've been seeing this for 12 years. Do you really expect it to end because of this decision, or do you think?
Well, I would sure hope so. I don't know what else, we can do. It really does seem to be the right decision and the compromise choice that should make all factions happy. And, it encompasses, the warrior pride, but it keeps our tradition and our history with the rainbows in there. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being Rainbow Warriors. I think it's a great decision, and and then we'll move on. And if anybody now complains, then no matter what happens, they're going to complain, and they're always going to be, that faction that
So you don't mind
just
if
aren't happy no matter what happens.
you don't mind if we call your team by its first name?
You can call us anything you want. This year we've been called a heck of a lot worse. I said from the beginning, to me it's more important that you call us winners at the end of the day, and that's what we're working toward. We're Rainbow Warriors, and I think that's great. I haven't thought of it at all as trivial. I've thought it important because that brings about tradition that has been with us, way longer than I've been here. So the fact that that I didn't go to school here or graduate from here doesn't, in my mind, give me the right to criticize people that that want to hold on to the tradition, and because at the end of the day, that's their school. This is the state school, and if that's the prevailing sentiment that we keep the Rainbow Warrior, then I think that's great. And it should make everybody happy, and let's just move on from there.